So the start of this is all of us need to understand that in the real world there is no max rules. You understand? So a lot of things we are assuming. Assume this, assume that. I think it's like that, I think it's like that. For example, from the 4th day onwards, do I calculate the 4th day?
No, yes.
Do I include the 4th day?
Yes. No, is it from
4th what?
From 4th, right? So answer is include 4th day. Include 4th day. Okay, so these are the things that I'm not very sure now, but during exam can you ask? Yes. During your N level, if you don't understand anything, raise your hand, ask. Sure, what is this? What does this mean?
But what if the teacher is not a maths teacher? Then
Yes. But the teacher may not be able to tell you. If they tell you, they have to call SCAB, check whether can tell you or not.
then Master don't need to ask lah.
Alright?
That's why don't need
Yeah.
to ask.
By the time the paper finish already.
Oh no. Very fast. They will call, then they will call, then they will come. Very fast.
Don't make Mr. Low stress. Later cannot.
Okay. So let's continue. So anything that you don't understand, you can ask, but not necessarily they will tell you. Or most likely they will tell you, read the question, that kind. Okay. Or if there's any mistake, which did happen a few times before, they will actually do a change. Okay. Now, so I want to know the percentage change. And I look at this. I'm looking at this value, right? So when I look at percentage change, I must first talk about the change itself. So it's always change over the original, then times 100%. Okay? Can I say that question 1 is fine?
Yes.
Can so I don't go through. Now, question 2. Another similar question. Now, in exam, they can change this to milk bottle. They can change this to number of eggs, to can, to this and that. So number of bacon, whatever. But the idea here is, how do you know whether better value? So better value you underline. Better value means what?
Lower.
Which one better value lah? This one
Try
too small.
It's
better
Oh,
to buy.
it's cheaper. It's better to buy. Now, how do I understand cheaper? If I look at this, of course $6.80 is cheaper than $15. So is it always I buy this? So what must you calculate?
Calculate the certain
$1
ml.
cost got give you how many?
Okay, there are two ways to do it. $1 give you how many ml? Or
100 ml.
1 ml
100.
is how much?
200.
Okay, now at this point I want you to know that these two are correct. Okay, you can either find $1 is how much ml for both. You can find 1 ml is how much for both. Or you can also find 100 ml
For both.
is how much for both. Just do a calculation. Okay. The problem is students don't write statement. So for example, they write things like that, and it's very hard to mark. And remember, the marker is not just marking Sengkang. It's not just marking Singapore. It's marking all over the world.
Really meh?
Yeah. So all the N level,
Malaysia.
Cambridge. The Cambridge is in where?
Australia.
England.
Australia.
Wait lah, Australian neighbour lah.
Worse. Okay, so in Cambridge, and this Cambridge, when they will just collect paper from all around the world. And imagine they mark so many work without any working, you will get very frustrated. It's very difficult to give marks. I give you example. $6.80 divided by 450. 1850 divided by 1.2 equals this equals that. Therefore, small.
Cannot.
Cannot 1.2 lah. 1.2 aja.
Small.
1220.
Must change one of them, right?
Which one is better? Small better. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this cannot, that cannot, or this can, that can. But I'm telling you, of course, you all mentioned the correct thing. This is in meter, this is liter, this is in milliliter. So you need to change this to 120. I'm not saying that this is wrong, but I'm saying that this is confusing. Now, how to let the marker mark your work easily? Number 1, you want to tell me what is this? What is this? Can you try explain?
Say small shampoo.
So you can say in the small bottle,
Oh.
1 ml cost triangle dollar, something like that. Or even if you put the word 1 ml, you can also put cost of 1 ml in small bottle. Example. As long as you write something like that, a statement. Okay, now if you write here like small bottle, is it good? Better than if you don't write. But it is not that good because is it really about the whole small bottle or are you talking about this being 1 ml?
This being one.
You are calculating 1 ml, right? So it's good to write down 1 ml. Once you write this, small bottle better. How to make it?
But sure.
Yes.
You round out is about the same, eh?
Yeah, if you round out, it's about the same. Good observation. So you don't round up to the nearest dollar. You round to the nearest cents.
So it's
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay, let's see. What's your answer for 450 ml?
1.51.
It's like 0.
1 ml is
0.01. Then you round up.
this is what? 0. Point.
So I read 100 ml.
0.01.
Wait, 1 ml is how much?
Okay, don't
0.01.
You just have 100 ml.
5.
5 1.
Then something.
That's something. Then this one 1 ml is what?
0.0154.
Yeah.
Same
Now then you say, oh, but sure, in the real world dollar is only up to 2 decimal place, right? If I ever round up to 2 decimal place, then the 2 will be the same. But let me ask you, by looking at the decimal place behind, which one is more expensive?
Obviously,
Obviously the big one, right? Now you don't calculate by the ml. What if you calculate by the liter? Then you realize that per every liter you actually save $3. Why? Okay, 1 ml is this. 1 liter is how much? Is it $3? No, it's 30 cents.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Because if 1 liter I will move 3 places, right? So this is the 0.1. So 1 liter is $15.1. Do you get it? Then over here 1 liter will be $15.4. So every liter you save 30 cents. So then you can see the savings. Clear? But it's fine, you don't have to describe that. You just need to write down to 3 decimal places. Then you just say small is better because it is cheaper. Or it's cheaper per ml. Clear? Clear about this? Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. Now this is the one that we need to understand a few things. Number 1. First 30 copies, this much. Next 50 copies, this much. Subsequent copy, this much. Can we try to understand what is the meaning of next and subsequent?
Means after the
31 pages radio, then it's
After the 30.
After the 30 pages.
Then subsequent?
Subsequent the following every number.
After what?
30 and
After 80. Understand?
Yeah.
Then this is after
30.
30. Okay?
After
No need. Okay? So with this, then for example, if I print, okay, I give 2 example. I print 90 copies. 90 copies. So the first copy will be how much? The first 30 copy will be how much?
150.
$5, right? So this one will be 30 times 5. Then this one will be how much? 50 times 4.5. Then this one will be how much? 10 times 420. Something like that.
$42.
Okay, then after that you add. Then there's a delivery charge, right? So delivery charge, is it per book or per everything? Per everything. So these are the things you need to understand. In the real world, do you send by book or you send the whole thing one shot?
Of course, if one book, you.
So question 3, you understand? Let's go to question 4.
This one again.
Oh, shit.
Okay, now question 4. This is real or fake one? Real. There was an increase in the water bill
Yes, correct.
since July.
Yeah.
Okay, so since July all the thing went up. So we want to first understand this. Now, first, electricity. You want to write it down. Electricity is no brainer. You use more, you pay more. So first, the rate is this. This is the rate. This is the rate. And this is how much you use. This is how much you use. They already write usage. So how to get 70.59? You multiply. You multiply then it equals to this. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Can someone really press a calculator?
Okay, confirm no one on that.
Correct.
Correct, thank you. Okay, now the second line means what? 96.
The rate goes higher. Time.
And then the rate goes higher. Can someone give a suggestion why?
I think because GST.
GST. Why the 300 no GST? Suddenly the 996 got
I
GST?
think after a certain amount,
After a certain amount,
there is an increase.
there's an increase. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So what is it trying to tell you? Use more or use less?
Use less.
Use less. So the government actually wants you to use 369 full stop. If you use more than that, then the rate will be different. Can follow? Okay, next. Now let's go at gas. Gas again, no brainer. So 0.165 is the rate. This is how much I use. Can you suggest how come in a household it is possible to use zero gas?
I know because they buy from other companies.
They
They use the
They use the
gas that one
Sir,
service.
Lin,
The
Celine. You see before?
The blue colour thing.
Those blue lorry they use cylinder.
Yeah.
But some houses don't have. They use the you turn on the tap 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 tap, then they got gas already.
Oh my god.
Right?
Right?
But some older houses they actually open the stove below. They open, then they see the cylinder there. Like especially if you go to the older places, right? Okay, so this is clear. Quite hard. Everyone need to cook something, right?
So, but wait, like no time to eat.
Now,
What if they always take away?
No.
They always order.
now, what if okay? Now there's another possibility that they don't use gas. If I want to cook nowadays, they don't use gas. They use the induction
Yes.
plate, right? They put the stove on top. They switch on the switch. Then they turn. It's a glass thing. They turn. The glass become hot. Then maybe you don't use. In my house, yeah. Then your electricity, then this will be higher. Then you gotta ask yourself which one is more worth it.
Obviously, the
So maybe in this year they may come out induction cooker. Then you want to buy a house. Then will you use gas or will you use electricity? Explain why. Or I may use this because this is cheaper. Something like that. You understand? Now, to feed you more information,
The gas.
the water heater at home, the one you use to shower, can be powered by two different things.
Yes.
One is by gas, one is by electricity. My house is by gas. So what they do is they put a very big tank, not tank lah, it's a heater. So what happens is every time I turn on the water, right? Then the heater will tak 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 tak. What they do is they actually use fire to heat up the water, and then the water will channel back to my bedroom.
So your house is it safe or not? They say
Is it safe or not? That's a different story altogether. Alright, but then I'm using that lah. 2 years I'm still around so should be safe. Okay, now water service. Now this is the most confusing one. Now let's try to understand this. First is the reading.
what's CUM?
Cubic meter. This is cubic meter. So this is meter cube. Now this one, same thing. The more you use, the more you pay. So very simple. This is the rate. I multiply. Do I get this number? Can you try? Help me test.
2024.
Okay, good. Then they round off to this. Now, next one. Water bond. Now water bond means I clean the water.
Flush that one.
Yeah, I can flush the water, or not really. All the water in Singapore, can we drink from the tap?
Yes.
Oh, you don't drink from
Yes,
the
right.
tap,
Yes,
meh?
right. You can, right? You can. Right? You won't get stomach after that, right? The reason is because they clean the water before, right? They clean from the reservoir. Do you have to pay for it?
I put inside the
Yes.
fridge.
How much are you paying?
Use the water to
How much are you paying? 0.28. Now, can you explain why these two numbers is the same?
Because you use the amount of water.
Yeah. You use this amount of clean water, you have to pay the same amount to clean it. Okay? So then you pay so much. So this is still multiplied.
Yeah.
Next one. What does the text do?
Pay lor.
Pay lor.
You go use how much, just pay how much.
You use how much, you pay how much lor, right? So can you explain where did the 20.24 come from? This thing ah. This thing ah. So you use so much, you pay this tax. Okay? Now if Singapore have no water, not enough water, this tax will go up or go down? Go up. Okay? If suddenly Marcus invented a way to drink directly from the rainwater, then you drink. Then suddenly we no longer lack of water, then this tax maybe will go down.
Singapore is out of water.
We are lack of water. We just built the 4th desalination plant, but still we are lack of water. Half of Singapore's land population is water, and still we are lack of water.
Huh?
I always bathe 20 minutes one eh.
Yeah, if you bathe 20 minutes, you should consider bathing 5 minutes. When you say bathe 20 minutes, you don't mean 20 minutes the tap is running.
Legit is running.
If 20 minutes is running, then you want to orbit first, do what you want, then you turn on.
Orbit first. I know I just.
Okay, now next. Now, what does this? Hey, 3 minutes I need to release you. Can we continue? Now, this means toilet bowl. Simple to understand? So 2 fitting means usually in a house you have 2 fitting. If you read, means I have 2 toilet bowl. Usually one in the living room, beside the living room, one is in the master bedroom. If every bedroom you have 1 toilet, then this one will be 4 or 5. So if you take your friend's bill, you read got 5. Wow, that means very rich. This person got 5 toilet in the house. You understand? But that also means you pay more. So again, this you multiply, this is equal. Okay, next. Quickly. Now, what is this thing?
Refuse removable.
Yes.
The dustbin? The rubbish. Okay, the rubbish. Now, how does the rubbish work? Why everyone got 1 quantity? Now, in the old HDB, in the kitchen under the sink, you open, there's one thing. Then you can throw things inside. But in the newer ones, you go outside, each floor share 1. But even though each floor share 1, each unit got to pay. And how much are we paying?
What's that?
$7.
What?
Then why we can't
But
find
they-
it? 83 cents.
Really choose sometimes only.
How they know whether we
One
use
day,
it?
one time lah.
Can someone help me add this to see whether is it the same? Is it $7?
Yes.
No leh, it's not leh.
Okay, right, I never
Correct
counted
lah.
yet. 7.5.
See?
But 7.12
Yeah, it's 7.12.
Okay. Yeah, why you so angry? Okay. So usually they don't divide into 25 and 5 days, but then read the star on the bill. But this is fine. I think this is taken from somewhere. So let's stop here and continue tomorrow. Take note there's a 7% tax. Okay, so we stop here.